A man of the house of Levi went and married a daughter of Levi. The woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw him that he was good, she hid him for 3 months. When she could no longer hide him, she took for him a reed basket, smeared it with clay and pitch, placed the child into it, and put it into the marsh at the Nile's edge. His sister stood from afar to know what would be done to him. Pharaoh's daughter went down to bathe to the Nile, and her maidens were walking along the Nile. She saw the basket in the midst of the marsh. She sent her maidservant. She took it. She opened it, and she saw him, the child, and behold, he was weeping lad, and she had compassion on him. She said, "This is one of the children of the Hebrews." His sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call for you a wet nurse from the Hebrew women, so that she shall nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." So the girl went and called the child's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. The child grew up, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter. He became like her son. She named him Moses. She said, "For I drew him from the water." Now it came to pass in those days that Moses grew up and went out to his brothers and looked at their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian man striking a Hebrew man of his brothers. He returned this way and that way, and he saw that there was no man, so he struck the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. He went out on the second day, and behold, 2 Hebrew men were quarreling. And he said to the wicked one, "Why are you going to strike your friend?" And he retorted, "Who made you a man, a prince and a judge over us? Do you plan to slay me as you have slain the Egyptian?" Moses became frightened and said, "Indeed, the matter has become known." Pharaoh heard of this incident, and he sought to slay Moses. So Moses fled from before Pharaoh. He stayed in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the chief of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and they filled the troughs to water their father's flocks. But the shepherds came and drove them away, so Moses arose and rescued them and watered their flocks. They came to their father Reuel, and he said, "Why have you come so quickly today?" They replied, "An Egyptian man rescued us from the hands of the shepherds, and he also drew water from us and watered the flocks." He said to his daughters, "So where is he? Why have you left the man? Invite him and let him eat bread." Moses consented to stay with the man, and he gave him his daughter Zipporah to Moses. She bore a son, and he named him Gershom, for he said, "I am a stranger in a foreign land." Now it came to pass in those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed from the labor, and they cried out, and their cry ascended to God from the labor. God heard their cry, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God saw the children of Israel, and God knew